All the people in the face of the world who have African DNA must see this video.
A white man said, we cannot conquer these people until we break their spiritual heritage and their cultural heritage. What did he see in our spiritual heritage that he so desperately wanted to destroy in order for him to conquer us? What did he see in our cultural heritage that he so desperately wanted to destroy in order to overcome us?
All Africans, all Black Americans, all Caribbeans, all Black people who possess African DNA must hear this video. If you are watching this video, kindly, today, I'm begging, share this video to all Black people, to all people you think have to hear this message. Because there is something white people knew about us Africans that we didn't know. There is something white people know about us, Black people, and the Black people don't know. And even if we know, we don't have that capability to bring it back easily, simply because there is some systems, democracy, everything that has been put there to hinder us Black people from taking what is ours. I want you to listen to this speech of this professor, and then after that, we will react on it as you comment down there and tell me if you concur with this. Let's go to the video.
I want to talk to you about what white people see in you that you do not see in yourself. I want to talk to you about the power that white people see in you, but you fail to see in yourself. Please allow me to read an address by Lord Macaulay's address to the British Parliament in February 1835. This was in February 1835. It was the 2nd of February 1835. And this is what he said. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of my time. I'm not going to take forever, but I just want to break down this thing. And then, what is this man seeing that you are not seeing? And he saw it in 1835, the 2nd of February. He says the following: I have traveled across the length and the breadth of Africa, and I have seen not one person who is a beggar. Why are there so many beggars today? Why are there so many people who are hungry? Why are there so many people who are living in mkukus? Why are there so many people who are resorting to crime? There was a time in our life where that could never be experienced. It was not even possible. And I'm telling you what a white man is saying. Says, I never saw even one beggar. Because these people were a communal people. They would not let anybody go hungry. They loved each other so much. Before capitalism came and grabbed their attention, they took care of each other. And as I traveled along the length and the breadth of Africa, I never saw one beggar. What happened that there are so many beggars today? What happened that there are so many criminals today? What happened that there are 10,000 people in South Africa every day that go to bed, not 10,000, 10 million people every single day that go to bed without eating. Statistically proven, 10 million people tonight are going to go to bed without food. What happened? What changed? And he says, I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country. Such high moral values. High moral values. And that was before that was even before we embraced the Bible. The moral values were up there. People of such caliber that, now listen to him carefully, that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation. Unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. A white man said, we cannot conquer these people until we break their spiritual heritage and their cultural heritage. What did he see in our spiritual heritage that he so desperately wanted to destroy in order for him to conquer us? What did he see in our cultural heritage that he so desperately wanted to destroy in order to overcome us? Oh! He says, therefore I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system. Replace. The way they transfer knowledge from the one to the other. Destroy that. Destroy her culture. Destroy her spirituality. Destroy it. For us to conquer. What was it? What is it that he saw that was so powerful that unless he destroys it, we will never be his subjects? For if the African thinks that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem. I'll say it again. If the African thinks that all that is foreign and all that is English is good greater than their own. Basithole lapho. Where we think that their language is better than ours. Their education is better than ours. Their culture is better than ours. Their God is better than ours. Their God is glorious. Our ancestors are demons. But agree until you came to a point where you referred to your ancestors as demons. Bawuthola. Eric Fedelit, please don't disappoint me. For if we can convince that all that is African, think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem. They will lose their native culture. And listen to this one. And listen to it. And they will become truly what we want them to be. A conquered and dominated nation. What must we do to make them to be a conquered and dominated nation? Today, we are a conquered and dominated nation because they strategized on us. And they broke the backbone of our culture. They broke the backbone of our systems. Caused us to hate ourselves. Wonder. They caused us to hate ourselves. And they knew if they achieve that, we will be truly a conquered and dominated nation. Today, black people are 81% of the population, controlled by 7% of the population, because they followed this formula. I want you to be a tough black man in your mind. I want you to be a tough black man, not one who's easily influenced by a strategy of a white man who wants nothing good for you, but just to dominate you and conquer you. I'm done. Nchapeleng matsogo. Only mad pastors preach about this. You have to be mad like Anda to talk about this. And I admit I am mad. That's why I talk about this. Something.
Welcome back. Colonizers came to Africa. They conquered Africa. They have stayed in Africa for so many years. Up to now, they are still in Africa. Still colonizing us. Still taking what is ours. Still taking our rights. They are still doing what they did before, even though they are doing it indirectly. Why are they here? Yet they are saying we are a poor country. Yet they are saying Africa is poor. Yet they are saying we are crooks. Yet they are saying we have low IQ, but they are still here in our midst, exploiting us. How did it come about to pass? Is something that a lot of these generations don't know. But I know you are watching this video. I know you know a lot about what happened, because I see, how did the colonizers destabilize Africa? What is that thing they knew about us that we don't know, that they came and destabilized it and took away from it so that they could conquer? You have heard through this professor. But again, I want to add few things. There is a numerous way which the colonizers or the white people used to destabilize Africa. First of all, I will talk about cultural separation. Let me start with that. Cultural separation. From the video we have watched, he has mentioned cultural, destabilizing of cultural. They took away our culture. They took away what we believed. They took away what we hold. They made us think, or they made us call our ancestors evil. They made us leave our culture and start following theirs. That's what they did. Like African language, religions, and traditions were suppressed. They were abolished. They were banished. We can follow their religion. We can follow their cultural. We can follow their ways. And by us leaving our culture and following someone else's culture, you left your identity. You are not the same person who you are. You are not the same person. For me, leaving my name, Livingstone Osotsi, and start calling myself, or for me leaving my name Osotsi, that cultural name, and start calling my name Livingstone, I have shared a culture. That's not my culture. The Livingstone name is not my name. For me, leaving my identification name, start calling myself Kenyan Beast, I'm living a Kenyan beast. I've left my culture. That's what I'm trying to mean. As an example, they took away from our culture because they knew our culture is very strong. They knew our God is very strong. They knew the God we worship very strong. They knew the ancestors are very strong. One thing, they had to take away it from us. Label it as evil. To label our God as evil. To label our ancestors as evil, to label our tradition as evil. Right now, we have culture of like LGBTQ. Right now, we ended this feminigation. I don't know, this where women were doing what it ended. Right now, we're living their ways. That's what they wanted. They took away that and they gave us theirs. Oh, so bad. Another thing they did is called economic exploitation. They extracted vast amounts of resources, that's gold, diamond, rubber, and more, for their own industrial and economic benefits, leaving Africa economic independent on raw material export. They took away our gold, diamond, and oil. They told you to wait upon the Lord. Under culture, European education and Christianity were imposed, undermining Africa identity and cultural pride. Now they came with their education and they told us the way we are educating ourselves is too bad and continue like that. It's bad. Take this one. We left our education system. I don't know how it was but we left it. We put it aside. We grabbed theirs. We started learning their ways and they were happy. That's what they wanted. There's a lot they did, like economic exploitation. There's a lot they did in political fragmentation. There's a lot they did in forced labor, social diversion, military violence, educational disparities. But you know what? In today, we are discussing about two things. Cultural. About one thing. They took away our culture, which was deeper, which was the best, which was connecting us to the roots. When they took slaves, let me give an example of slaves who went to America, Black Americans. They had to make them change their ways. They had to make them embrace their culture. So there have been mixed culture between the African culture and the American culture, but you cannot survive in the midst of them if you don't have their culture. Come on. If we could still honor our culture as Africans, we could still, or we can be superior. If we could still be going on with our education system, maybe they could not have conquered us. If we could just hold on our God, maybe they could not have conquered us. All these things that's going on up to now could never be happen. How can you leave your God? Someone comes from somewhere and tells you, you know what? This your father is not your father. You don't need to have DNA. Just leave him. Leave him, is not your father. You are eating maize and corn? You are eating corn for supper? Oh, no. It's a bad father. Now do this. Come to my house. I have a better father for you. You'll be eating chapati. You'll be eating burger and pizza. And then you leave your father to go call someone's father your father because he's giving you burger. Now this father gives you this burger and pizza for 1 week. And then he starts oppressing you. Now you can't go back to your father again because mentality, you have overthrown him. You have dismissed him. Now even your father does not care about you anymore. Now you have owned someone else's father. Who does that? That's what Africans did. We left our papa. We left our God. We left our creator. And we started possessing someone else's God. Not even their creator, because our creator is one. But we left. They removed us from the course. And they threw us somewhere. We started following the course. Even themselves, they don't focus on that. They don't follow that path. But they have put black people to that path and say, what? This is the way. This is the way. Focus to heaven, my brother. Leave this earthly alone. Now we are here out suffering, crying, poverty, discrimination, racism. Sometimes I sit down and ask myself, how was it possible for all African people who were back then to accept that this sudden change in religion, to accept this sudden change in healthcare? Because the white person knew we had a strong personality in medication. We had a strong, we were good in medicals, using our own herbals. But he made sure that we have left it and started taking his medicine. Does it mean that ours was bad? This question I've been asking so many of times, a number of times. Does it mean our way of giving out medicine through the herbs, the roots, was it bad? I don't think it was bad, because we were connecting with the nature. We were taking the roots from the motherland. We were taking the leaves from the motherland. We were doing it. We were being provided this medication by the Creator. But he knew this will make them strong and stronger. We cannot conquer them. He took it away from us. We left our God. Does it mean our God was bad? We left our education system. Does it mean was it bad? But when I think about that how the people of that time were to leave all their things to follow this white man's person, is happening even up to now. It is still continuing. You see, they have put leaders here. A leader will come and tell you, you know what? Do this and this and this and this. This is the way, blah, blah, blah. We will leave everything we are doing. We will follow him. The church leaders are still here, still continuing the work of the colonizer. It's so sad to see that even in this generation, we are still being colonized. We are still being brainwashed. And that's why we need to be more and more educated. We need knowledge to know that this is the only way. And for those who have knowledge, they are not given that mandate to rule, to have this leadership so that he can teach us. If you teach something, the schools about what they don't want, they don't give you that chance. If you talk about what they don't want, they don't give you that chance. It is still continuing up to now. And it's only us who can change. It's only you who are watching this video. You can change how Africa is. It's only by unity that we can bring together what we lost. How come you betray your family and go to live in another man's family as a maid, and you are happy? When they tell you come back home, you're like, no, I can't come back home. Here I'm getting free food. To see church leaders are being used to accomplish these missions every day, every time. We need our Africa back. And they know that we have something. They know. They have read our history. They know us in and out. And they knew when we still have these our local languages, it will be so hard for them to conquer. They brought English and French and Spain. Now everyone is running up and down to go and learn French, to go and learn Spanish, to go and learn English so that we can communicate with the world, because we need them. When we need them, we have to speak their language. They have made us to need them. To speak their language is the only way. If they needed something from us, why didn't they come and learn our language so that they communicate through our language? A Mzungu to come and is communicating in Luya to tell us, you know what, we want gold, this and this, we want this and this, you help us with our own language. Why was us to leave our languages to learn theirs so that they can communicate to us? Do you see that? It's amazing me. It amazes me every time I think of that. That's why we need to educate ourselves. We need to have the spirit of Pan-Africanism. We need to go back to history, learn about the history of Africa, learn about our culture, African culture, because it's only by preserving our culture that we will make something better. We started calling our ancestors evil. Someone makes you to call your father evil, and your father has not done anything bad for you. Just because your father has his own ways of teaching you and you left him. Now, this video, I want you to share to all Africans. I want you to share to all black people who you think needs to hear this, because this is what is eating us up to now. Tell me what you think on the comment section. I have more to say, but I don't want to waste your bundles. You have heard that, and we will talk more on the next episode about this. Until next time, peace be with you.